Hey guys, this is Kasual from nerdhammer.net, and I have for you a YouTube battle report. This is a special report for Malorians around the world in 12 months. My Daemons versus Rob Skaven. It's nice to get a game in midweek. I'm actually putting this one up before I do my past weekend report so that I get this up before the end of January. Just under the wire here. So here we go. Here are the spells I rolled up. I'm running Nurgle on my Demon Prince. Level 4, just trying something a little different, pushing a little bit more Nurgle. So I got Miasma, Curse of the Leper, Fleshy Abundance, Plague Wind, and I have a level 1 of Death, who's my BSB, and he rolled up Spirit Leech, so it kind of gives me another option for some character assassination. These spells that I got here I really like. I mean, you know, toughness buff or toughness debuff, you know, minus weapon skill and initiative, which is always good when you have a lot of Nurgle. Fleshy Abundance to make that 4-up regen on the Plague Bearers from the BSB go to a 3-up, which is absolutely stellar. And of course, Plague Wind being a massive death spell for toughness, for a toughness test. So that's gonna come into play and really help me against Skaven, I believe. So here's the deployment. Fancy shot because the lighting's a little weird. My DP has a 75-point Exalted Gift, and I took the Eternal Blade. This is I roll a D3 before combat, and I increase weapon skill, initiative, strength, and attacks by D3. So pretty badass weapon for him. And my Herald, I just took Fencer Blades. You know, weapon skill 10 on a Nurgle character is pretty nice. So here, I have my Demonettes. I have my Skull Cannon, some Plague Drones, 4 Beasts of Nurgle. I got a big block of 40 Plague Bearers with a BSB, another unit of Furies, my Demon Prince in behind, and my Soul Grinder of Nurgle. On this other side I have some Horrors that are just proxied as Furies of Nurgle for now, until I get them painted up. On his side, not much on the left side, but he had a unit of Slaves, 2 Redirectors out in front, a big block of Storm Vermin with a Fellblade character, which I'm really concerned about. I know Rob's tricks from discussing countless lists while we're driving to tournaments and whatnot. I know I need to stop that Skitter Leap. I can't let him out there throwing the Brass Orb that he has. So that's priority for me to stop that guy from being able to force some big time initiative tests on my Nurgle, who aren't that good. So Warp Fire Cannon's in the back. He has his bunker there with I think one of his casters an engineer, and his Grey Seer is actually in the Storm Vermin. So another big block of 2 big blocks of Slaves, some more Redirectors, and he really anchored down this flank with his Doomwheel and Huey on this side. So yeah, I'm hoping to counter that with the Soul Grinder and the Demon Prince, but yeah, this is gonna be a tough flank. So turn 1 Demons, I actually get the initiative, which is awesome. So on the left side here, I fly my Furies, who suspiciously look like pink Horrors. I move up my Demonette block as fast as I can. They have the Banner Swiftness, so they're a quick unit. I kind of like them because they have this wide frontage. I think it'll be nice to come into play to kind of keep things in my front arc with them. The list that we are running here is Crossroads Comp, so I kind of put this in to counter Warlocks if I come across them from Dark Elves, because they don't get their ward save against Lineage models, and this unit can move pretty quick. So in the center I just push up like Nurgle does. I position my Demon Prince here. This might have been bad positioning because of his Warp Fire Cannons, but I really don't want him on the right side with Huey over there in the Doomwheel. I didn't really have a lot of range to get him into anywhere that would be safe from those cannons, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I fly these Furies up. I position them in a way that if the Doomwheel hits them and overruns, they can't get into the Soul Grinder, and the same with the Abomination. So I'm hoping that's going to work as a little speed bump for a countercharge for the Soul Grinder. Through magic, I put a wound on Huey. I used Spirit Leech on him and kind of forgot that he has 4-up regen and a pretty good leadership. I actually wanted to shoot at the Doomwheel with that spell, but you know, I still got a wound through, so that's not too bad. And turn 1 Skaven. So he pushes up a little bit. His Redirectors are out there going to do what they do. Kind of shuffles his blocks around. I think he moved the Slaves up a bit. Yeah, it's just another shot. The redirectors out in front, they're going to be a headache for me to, just smash through. But I'm not really concerned about him countercharging me with anything. I mean, slaves aren't going to do too much. The storm vermin, I'm a little nervous about, but I'm hoping with his grace here and there, he's going to keep him back for a turn or two. And on this side, the Doomwheel tries to go as far as he can at the Soul Grinder, but he can't, so that's pretty awesome for me. I'm going to be able to charge him there on turn 2. Huey does go into the Furies, and they're obviously not going to last long. I just hope that, Huey doesn't run too far so that I have some options, but we'll see how that goes. And then he gets the no-fly zone off, which is the Skaven spell that doesn't let things fly, which that really sucks for me. Especially because I wanted to throw the Demon Prince in turn 2 against a slave unit or anything, and then hopefully pop that Vortex down his lines. His Doom Rocket hits my Plague Bearers, and that's the casualties. I know this unit's gonna take some heat, especially with the dreaded 13th out there. But I do have Lord Nurgle, so I can regrow them, which is kind of what I'm hoping to do. And through other I think the Doomwheel zapped the Soul Grinder for 2 wounds. And Huey obviously beat the Furies, and he ran pretty far, so I can't swing the Soul Grinder around to attack Huey, so I'm just gonna have to go at the Doomwheel and take the eventual charge from the Abomination. So turn 2 Demons. Move the Demon Ups up really far. I think my plan with them is I'm going to just put him against a slave unit, hopefully in the flank if he doesn't decide to move them or reform them. Or I can threaten the Warp Fire Cannons if he does move those slaves. And I bring the Furies up too. I actually replaced them, took out the Horrors so that it's aesthetically pleasing. And I'm going to try to get these Furies in against one of the cannons. Here I charge one of the redirectors, one of them flee. I tried to get the Plague Drones in on one of the Rat Packs, but they failed their charge, and I just moved the Skull Cannon up to take a shot at his cannons. Over here, I charged my Demon Prince into this redirector. It was a really tight fit, but I was able to just clip him and get on in there. And the Soul Grinder charges the Doomwheel, so that should be pretty good. I could force an initiative test on him, and then everything's auto-hitting him, so hopefully that'll work out. And in my magic phase, yes, I get boxcars, which means for the 3rd time in a row against Rob, I get a free unit. So here you go, Rob. Here's a unit of Bloodletters in your backfield. I only got 7 of them, but that's going to be enough to get that cannon, I hope. So that is just unbelievable luck. It never happens against anybody else except Rob, and I feel sorry for him because that's not where you want even 7 Bloodletters in your backfield. So with that magic phase, I actually got a couple spells off here. I put Miasma on the Doomwheel, which is minus weapon skill and minus initiative, so that brings him to the same weapon skill as me, so he's going to be hitting me on 5s, which is perfect. And I then put the toughness curse on him, which brought his toughness down by 3. So this is, with this magic support, this is definitely going to be the end of the Doomwheel, I hope. Not too sure what that's a shot of. And, it was my Demon Prince casting the Vortex. So I get it off irresistibly. I do 1 wound to my other mage, so it was a pretty safe miscast. I fly it down, through his lines. No panic test or anything caused, but I did kill a bunch. And with that bunch, I actually regrew a bunch of Plague Bearers. Yeah, so that worked out really well. That's exactly what I want. That's exactly why I have the Lord Nurgle in this list. But of course, my cannon misfires. Why wouldn't it? And it can't shoot next turn. Soul Grinder does the deed against the Doomwheel, breaks him and runs him down. So that worked out pretty well. The magic buffs, I just wanted to get that combat over as quickly as possible, so his Abomination couldn't help there. Unfortunately, the A-Bomb's going to be able to just turn around, and he doesn't need much to get into the rear of the Soul Grinder, so that's going to be a pillow fight, but I'm going to be down in combat res, so that's going to be tough. In the center, yeah, just reform after I kill off Rat Darts. But it's a good spot, because that one Rat Dart is fleeing, so he's not going to be able to countercharge anything, any of the big units on his next turn. So that worked out better than planned, I think. It's always nice when redirectors get in the way of your opponent. So turn 2 Skaven. In a surprise, he brings his character out with the Fellblade and goes up against the Beast. That I'm a little worried about. I mean, he has a lot of... I think he has 4 attacks, a strength 10 that does d6 wounds. That's a nasty combo, so I'm hoping the Beast can hold. You know, I can challenge him out if I want to try to mitigate some of that damage, but yeah, we'll see how that works out. He does bring Huey into the rear of the Soul Grinder, and as I forgot to mention earlier, he has 2 ambushing units of the Poison Sling Gutter Runners, I guess they're called. This is just an overall of the board. You see this, his slave unit went in against my Demon Prince, which, you know, normally you'd be like, oh great, the Demon Prince is safe in combat. Not against Skaven, they can just shoot and magic and do whatever the hell they want. He sets up some other redirectors in front of my Plague Drones. I think he's hoping to get the no-fly zone in again, because if not, I have a pretty decent charge right at the Storm Vermin. So over here, his cannons are shooting at my Demon Prince. The first one puts 2 wounds on him. Uh-oh. And the second one kills him. God damn, 530 points gone. He did get off 1 Vortex and regroup my Plague Bearers. That's still not worth the point cost. I just wish Demon Princes were just a little tougher. Give them another wound or another pip of armor. I don't know. They're just... it's so brutal. And I just can't really hide them that well against Skaven because they can just... their wood fire cannons can shoot through everything. He sets up his engineer here who already fired his Doom Rocket as a speed bump. Over here, Huey does 2 more wounds to my Soul Grinder. I don't think I did any back to him. So Soul Grinder sitting on 2 wounds left, and I wasn't able to reform him. So I'm going to be getting, you know, -2 to my combat res, which is going to hurt if I can't get any wounds through on Huey with its 4-up regen. So after combat here, you know, I did challenge him out, and I actually don't think it was the best idea. I think I lost a lot of attacks, and it was just a dumb move. So what happened was he did kill 1 beast outright in the challenge, and through instability, I had taken another wound on another one. At least they're still there. They didn't all pop. I think that 2 there. I think I actually got 2 wounds through on him. So he either has 1 or 2 wounds left, which not bad for beasts. Turn 3 demons. I flank. I was surprised he didn't reform his slaves here and just took the demonettes into the flank. I think he was more concerned with protecting the warp fire cannon, and he didn't think. I don't know. I don't think he thought my Furies could fit in. But being a war machine, I can hit any part of his base, and as long as I'm an inch away and all that stuff. So, and then I take the Bloodletters into the other cannon, so that should work out pretty well for me. Hopefully, I'll get an overrun into his bunker, who he reformed to face the threat. Let's see what else here. I wasn't able to charge with the Plague Drones because of that redirector in its way, and he moved his Storm Vermin up a little bit. So I just bring my Skull Cannon up. I can't shoot this turn, but I'm getting ready to give some options with charging. And I know he can't charge me with the Storm Vermin with that redirector in the way, so that's a pretty safe place for him right now. I think that's just showing a failed charge of the Plague Drones. Oh, and I actually took the Plague Bearers into the Engineer. And with the 1 spell that I have left, which is Spirit Leech, I Spirit Leeched his BSB. I 6-diced it, miscast. It didn't matter. I didn't care. If I can get the BSB off, that's a lot of leadership's tests that he can't re-roll. So that worked out pretty good. And that's what I get for Spirit Leeching his BSB. I actually didn't do a wound on my guy. I think I got the result that does a strength 10 to everybody in base contact, so he was safe. And look at the beast. So I decided not to challenge this time, and he didn't want to challenge, so I got 3d6 plus 3 strength 4 poison attacks at him, and it was enough to take 2 wounds off and kill him, so that's awesome. He wasn't able to fire his Brass Orb, and I killed the Fell Blade guy, so that's a big swing. I really didn't have any. I didn't think I had anything that could handle him, but he sent him out there unsupported, and You know, against one of the most undercosted units in the game in Beast and Nurgle. That's what happens, I guess. Huey kills the Soul Grinder. Kind of expected that. I think he actually popped through combat res. Just that -2 to the rear. There's not much I could do. And look at over here, the slaves popped. Like, you know, we rolled the wounds and damage and everything, and we're talking about combat res. And you know, he rolled his break test, and he passed initially. And then I said, well, you are disrupted, because I think I had enough at the time, and yeah, I had enough. The slaves popped. They killed a bunch of demonettes, killed a bunch of furies. Now I only have 2 furies in with the skull cannon, or with his warfire cannon. So we'll see. That's going to be a tough fight. I hope they can polish that cannon off. The Bloodletters do kill the other cannon and overrun into his bunker. They're not going to kill the bunker, but at least, you know, it ties him up, and I think there's an engineer in there. I don't know what he could do. So turn 3 Skaven. This is just a picture of my Plague Bears. I really like the way these guys turned out, so I took a picture of them. Anyway, so Huey is coming around. He's gonna, you know, facing a rear charge to the Plague Bears. He brings the Skaven unit, or a slave unit, into my Plague Bears. I need Huey not to smash into the Plague Bears for at least another turn or so. Over here, he sets up another redirector for the beasts, and he reorganizes his Storm Vermin block. His other gutter runners do come on, so they're going to be taking shots at my demonettes. And he gets Dreaded 13 off of my Plague Bear unit. So now I'm down to about 21. Man, that spell is tough. And he got it off naturally, too. No irresistibles. And I actually had 3 dice to dispel it, and I rolled 5, 5, 6. I was so close. But yeah, it goes off, and the Plague Bears take massive casualties. Yeah, after shooting it, take some demonettes off. I just need to get them in combat with something other than slaves, so that he can't keep chipping away at them. After combat here, I reform. I go 6 wide so that my BSB is touching, so he's going to get his attacks, and I'm going to get some ranks against his endless ranks. After combat here, the Bloodletters are almost gone. I think I have 3 left. Taking off a couple. I'm trying to hit his engineer that's in there, or not. I think he has an engineer in a level 1. I'm trying to kill them off quick, but you know, it was a free unit. I'm fine with this. Turn 4 Demons. Let's charge. Sorry for the blurry picture. I take the Demonettes into the flank of the Storm Vermin. I take the Skull Cannon in, and I take the Plague Drones up over top of the Beast and in. That looks nice to me. You know, he's going to be steadfast for a little while. But that's going to be a lot of damage. Hopefully I won't be taking any instability tests. I'll be, you know, putting all the pressure on him. Oh, look at that. There's a clear picture of it. That's better. Oh, actually, this is after combat. So, in my stupidity, his Grace here, his level 4, is right there in the front rank. I could have attacked him with one of the Plague Drones, and I totally forgot. So, that gives him the opportunity to skitter leap him right out of combat. And, you know, I had a slippery target pinned down, and I totally forgot to attack him. Over here, the beasts kill the other redirector, and I position him like this in case I need to take him into the Storm Vermin too, or, you know, into the side of the slaves. This wasn't my best reform I've ever done, and you'll see why. Turn 4 Skaven. Huey doesn't make it in. He needed a 7, and he got a 6. Ah, that's awesome. So that saves the Plague Bears for another round at least. I can try to whittle down a slave unit. His other gutter runners come up. They're going to shoot at the Plague Bears. And there's the skitter leaped level 4. So the Grey Seer is over here. Damn it, I almost had him. The other gutter runners come over here to take pop shots at my beast, and they put 2 wounds on. I can handle that. After shooting here, takes, I think, like 2 Plague Bears off. And after combat with the Storm Vermin, I guess the Grey Seer knew what was about to go down. I got enough through, ran him down. I have 1 Demonette left who I'm going to try to hide. and that was big. This is kind of where the game started to swing for me. Getting that Storm Vermin unit, that was huge. I thought this combat was going to go a little bit longer, but no BSB reroll. That's tough for Skaven, and your general's pretty far away. Over here, yeah, just killing slaves. You know, the plague bearers are just stuck in this grind, and I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. Turn 5 demons. There's that sneaky little gray seer through Huey's tail. So charges. So here I take the beast in, and this is something that comes up in tournaments every once in a while. Everyone, you know, a lot of people say, well, you have to maximize your bases. That is true. You have to attempt to maximize, but you have to still be within the rules of charging. You get a 90-degree wheel throughout your charge, and then you make contact and close the door. So the way my beasts were positioned, this is the best I could do. This is how I can attempt to maximize. I don't slide. You don't slide, and this is how it ends up. So I only got one beast in contact. Now after combat, when you can reform, your center doesn't have to stay the same, so then you can bring more into base contact, which I will do after combat. Shuffle the other things around. I bring the skull cannon around to shoot at Huey. I got a small window that I can land a rock in. Hopefully I can. So the Reign of Comedy table takes 2 wounds off of the gutter runners and panic them. Cannon actually hits Huey in this small little window of inches, and I only do 1 wound to him. God damn. So after combat, I do reform and bring more beasts in the base to base, and I'm starting now with the beast in the side. I'm really killing up on some slaves. As you see in the movement phase, I brought the drones in to give me some options with some counter charges or rear charges. Turn 5 Skaven. Gutter runners move into position to shoot the lone demonette, and they get her. Not much else happened after combat. I break Huey, the slaves blow up, do some wounds to my beast, do some wounds to my plague bearers. Huey flees, and I don't quite catch him, but that's okay. Turn 6, I can charge him. It's going to push him through, and the edge of the board is right on the other side of those gutter runners. So that worked out very well for me. Turn 6, that's what I do with the plague bearers. They charge them, panic. They'd actually panic the gutter runners, and they went off the board. I take the plague drones into the rear of the Skaven unit. That's all that's left, and that sneaky little gray seer still hiding behind the building. Tried to bring the cannon as close as possible. I couldn't actually see him, so it was basically a waste. After combat here, I didn't really kill many slaves for what I have in there. I think 5. They're steadfast and held, and the gray seer was within range, so they had pretty good leadership. Turn 6 Skaven. That sneaky gray seer. He fires a Dreaded 13th off at my plague bearer unit. Now, this is something that I gotta ask you guys about. He did enough to kill the entire unit, but I have a character in there. We weren't sure if the character survives, if it kills everybody except the character, or the character would survive. It kind of makes a difference in the end points, and I'll get to that right after this the next picture too. After combat here, yeah, kill some more slaves, didn't pop the unit, and that's the end. So, I think I got about 2,100 points off of Rob. I gave him 1746, so with Crossroads point system, it was a 12-8 win for me. No bonus points or anything like that for tournament stuff, but if not, if the BSB actually dies, then it's a 200. I had another 245 points for 1991. So it actually makes it a little closer game, maybe about 200 point difference. But it was a great game, and this one's dedicated to Malorian. It's really cool. I'm glad to see him doing the around the world in 12 months of Warhammer. Hopefully it'll bring a lot more battle reports to YouTube. I absolutely love watching other people do battle reports, and especially when we're going to get into those more obscure armies. It's going to be interesting to see how many people who can continuously find competition and get battle reports up every month. That's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching.